Hey, what's going on, everybody? I have exciting news. I have the rough draft of the new issue Behind the Zines done. It's going to look like this. This is the back cover. I've printed one copy of it, and this is what it looks like, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's Behind the Zines comes out every 6 months, so I do 2 a year. So it's a really different process of zine making than all my other projects because, first of all, there's a set schedule, so I have like pretty chiseled out deadlines that I'm always trying to hit, and then I'm also getting stuff from all different, dozens of different people, different every issue, different set of people. So that makes it a little bit different, and then just trying to coordinate everything and get everything out on time, I guess. I wanted to talk a little bit about my process. So I start off by contacting a bunch of people to see if anyone wants to contribute. I pitch ideas to certain people. So I'll say, hey, like I'm doing this. Do you want to write a story about this? Or you know a lot about whatever layouts. You want to write some tips about layouts, whatever. And sometimes people pitch me ideas. Hey, I've got this idea for a story. What about this? Or if I just have a person that I like a new zine maker that I've met, I'll just say give me 3 or 4 ideas and I'll help work with them with whichever idea I think is the coolest. So there's a bunch of ideas coming from all different places. This is the first issue that I've done that has a theme. The theme of this one is Zines Saved My Life. So I've never done a themed issue, so I'm excited about that. Some of the people stuck with the theme, some didn't, which is great. Get some variety. But anyway, so I'll spend a few months going back and forth with all different people, and some people get me stuff right away, some people wait till the last minute, and that actually kind of works out well because over the course of 6 months, there's always, in the background of my life, I'm always helping one person edit something, and I've been doing it for a few years now, and in the first ones, the first few issues, I would just take whatever people would send me, and now I really try to work with them and make the writing as good as it can be. So if I don't like something, I'll tell people. There's been times I've turned down articles. There's times where we've had to rewrite, and just want it to be smooth, and I want it to be easy to read, right? So I do most of the layouts. Once all the writing is done, I'll print it out, and it's funny because even though I end up printing it digitally, for me I still have to print out a hard copy, and I still make old school master fold files, whatever, master pages. So I lay it all out, cut and paste, and I get it how I want it to be. And what's funny about that is I get it all laid out like this, and then I end up having to scan all the files and then make a digital PDF file that I submit to the printer, because I like to have a hard copy so that I can make a copy anytime I want. But I'm printing 300 or 400 of these at a time now. At the last issue of 15, I did 400 copies to start with, because I can pretty much have 200 copies sold before it's even printed, you know what I mean? And so then over the course of the next 6 months, I'll sell another couple hundred. So it's too much for me to fold and staple. So I scan all these, and then I make a digital copy, and then I submit the digital copy. So it's funny because it's going from digital to print to digital to be printed again. I thought I'd show you this too. I don't know if I've ever shown anyone this. I started doing this a couple issues ago, which is super helpful. So if you can see there, people's names. So these are the names of, these are the different articles that are being written. So once I have all, because every issue, for most every issue is 40 pages. So I write down on Post-it notes, and I write down cover, there's the cover. I write down intro, 1 page, Crystal's story, 1 page, Larry's story, 2 pages, Todd's story, 3 pages, and I write them all down, and then that's how I figure out the order that I want everything to go in, because I think it's really important to make a good flow of a zine, right? So some articles are too similar. I don't want them next to each other. Some articles are really similar. I do want them next to each other. Oh, that story flows into that story. I try not to do 3 interviews in a row and then 3 stories in a row. I kind of an interview, a story, a graphic, and then another interview. Just kind of make it balanced and make it easier to read. So this is really handy because as I'm doing it, I can just oh, I don't want that story here, I want that story here, and I don't want that story here. You know, you can like, you know, move things around and put it in the order you want. And I got the idea from, I've seen like on television, like in, like when they're doing like the, like what TV show goes in what time slot. Like you'll see like, you know, whatever TV shows or movies where they're like moving, they're like, well, what if we put the news at 6 o'clock, we put this right after, and then they're like moving things around. I'm like, oh, that's like a smooth way to like, I don't know. For me, it clicked and made sense. So anyway, that's what I do. And so once I get all the order figured out, then I put it all down, and now I have a rough draft. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reread every single thing, even though I've read it all 10 times. I'm going to read it as a zine in order, see if everything looks good, makes sense. And then if it does, I'll do the digital files and hopefully get it submitted by Monday. And then it'll be like 2-3 weeks before I get the hard copy. So I'm trying to get it done in time for Phoenix Zine Fest, which is August 19th. I don't think I'm going to get it in time, but at the very least it'll be out by the end of the month. So anyone on my every zine list will get a copy. So I hope that's interesting to anyone out there, and I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.